Well, hello, boys and girls.
Hi.
What a wonderful day it is today in our money-based economy. Well, sit back and relax and get ready for the guy who's about to ruin everything.
I'm puzzled. Are you really seriously suggesting that Jesus Christ was a mushroom?
Wayne, Jesus was a mushroom Roberts.
Yes. You are dealing with a secret cult, a secret society.
Welcome to Waning Interest.
Welcome to the Waning Interest Podcast. February 9th, 2022. Hour 78. So what if it's, been a little while, year and a half? What? So what? We'll get to that. Maybe. We'll see. Because you found the babbling dabbler, the smallest click on the internet, the pinball brain in your favorite machine. It's like a diary. Or a book. But not as stale. Or coherent. And it's been a while, so that means there's going to be a whole lot of... All right. It's been a while, so there's going to be a whole few lot of you that are new. So you might be saying to yourself, what is this Wayne Roberts talking about? What's this Jesus was a mushroom? Oh, shit. What the fuck is he saying? What the fuck? And I don't blame you. What the hell does that mean? Well, let's just jump right in because it's been so long. Virgin birth, spores need no seed. First question a lot of people ask. Born in a manger, maybe, just maybe, in a pile of cow dung. Died for me, so I could chew his ass up and shake hands with the universe / God and see that there's no such thing as death. You still with me? Holy water. Let the mushroom grow into a chalice, drink what collects, and there's your water into wine. It can also be done as piss, especially if it's the red and white one, the Amanita muscaria. You might want to actually take that after somebody else has had it, because you'll get less sick and it'll be more fun. Anyway, giant mushroom fountains in Vatican City, and a giant pine cone statue represents the pineal gland, your third eye, which gets cleaned off by the mushroom so you can shake hands with the universe. You ever notice that the Pope dresses like a mushroom? Cheers. You will now. Anyone tripping balls? Sounds like Jesus. So obviously, I know it sounds weird, especially if you're my age, 50 years. Hearing about... Yes, what I'm trying to say is the Bible should be taught in science class. I know how it sounds. But I'll tell you this, nothing has made me feel more like Mikey from the Goonies, finding out One-Eyed Willie, than realizing Jesus was a mushroom. Wait, One-Eyed Willie makes you think of a penis, and a penis makes you think of a mushroom. Guys, I'm like Captain America, I can do this all day. The mushy man can when he mixes it with tea, 'cause it can taste like wood. Those are the original lyrics. You know let's use the example of Don't Cry, Guns N' Roses. See, you know Use Your Illusion 1 version, but the original version is on Use Your Illusion 2. Which by the end of this hour, you're going to say, this was Disillusion 3. for that. Maybe it's a fact. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a fact, maybe it's not. It's hard to tell these days. 2022, February 9th. Did I say that already? I did. It's hard to tell when somebody's telling the truth. So you got to have a lot of confirmation. Not that I get it, but whatever. But if you dig hard enough, I'm telling you, the mushy man can when he mixes it to tea, 'cause it can taste like wood. Those are the original lyrics. They had to do the Candyman thing for the kids. Kind of like Easter eggs instead of, they're actually supposed to be mushrooms. Colorful little bulbs under trees. That's weird. Because back in the day, where all this stuff comes from, Siberia area-ish. Sometimes my geography's off, but Siberia's pretty big, so you can't really miss, But back in those days, where it all started, where we get the red and white for Santa Claus and the whole Christmas thing, maybe you've seen it on the internet already. A lot of people start shooting it around. They've done it more and more every Christmas. Couple of videos that are out there some of them are animated. What is that? One of them is that school thing where they take the ski. They take the ski out of ska. They take the C out of school. I can't remember what it is. I've seen it a few times. But they talk about the whole red and white part having to do with that mushroom and the shaman-like guys that wear that kind of clothing, the red and white, that collect those mushrooms, and the animals that they use are caribou that we affectionately call reindeer. And what's the deal with those reindeer that we know ever since we've been kids? They can fly, right? You want to know why? Because that red and white psychedelic mushroom is one of their favorite snacks. Another version of the holy water, where the shaman would let the caribou eat those and then collect their piss afterwards because it had a dilution to it, and so it didn't make them as sick because, it's holy water, and that's why we have fountains with men or boys peeing, and it's just kind of a recycled thing. And, urine therapy, look it up. You do the homework. I seem to have been already done a lot. You know what I'm saying? But just like with the Easter bunny and the eggs, and, go and getting the little eggs, the red and the colorful little eggs, and some of them are golden. It was easier to send little kids for fun to go under these bushy pine trees and get these little red and white and gold and brown gifts, and pick them. And in those older days, they probably still do it, wherever the sun is hitting the trees, while they pick more, they'll put those ones in the tree where the sun's hitting it as they go for more, and let those dry out a little bit, so they're not as heavy when they take them home. And when they take them home, what does that sound like, by the way? Decorating a Christmas tree? I hope so. I feel really stupid pointing that out. Anyway, they would take them home and put them in little sacks and hang them by the fire to dry out more, because the drier they are, the better, more potent, It's a science thing. I wish I had a drop of Jesse saying, yes, science. And what does that remind you of? I know. But I'm going to have to say it anyway, because you're a silent audience, like a silent partner. Speaking of, Patreon, winning interest. There's a link. $2 a month. This is hour number 78. There's a whole bunch there that you can't get on iTunes or Apple Music and Spotify and a few others. But as my father would say, we be talking about stockings. The Christmas stocking. That's where that comes from. Doesn't it seem like Christmas if this is the first time you're hearing this? Doesn't it? Did to me. I was like, wait. First you tell me that Santa ain't real. Well, first you tell me he is real. And then you tell me he's not. One of most of our most powerful trust issues with our parents. The whole Santa thing, that was my chair, if you heard that. Not me. I got a noisy fake leather chair. I'm sure the real leather would be noisier if... Sorry, a sexy lady just flashed through my brain when I said leather. It starts with being taught there's this Santa guy. Then that big blow of, he ain't real, bitch. Thanks, Heater. Stepping on my fucking line. And then if you're lucky, and thanks to the internet, many of us have been, because, like I said, some of you have already seen that video, and then you're like, whoa. It's like, he is real? And then there's this beautiful confusion. There's been many a song written about that, different forms, but in song. But you're like, whoa, talk about a whap, whap, whap. It's like makes me think of Apollo Creed and Rocky. Boom, boom, boom. Here's Santa. No, he's not. Okay, here he is. And then you're like, whoa. Here he is again. And it's all about fucking fungus? And then you go, fungi, fungus. That's a code word that's not much of a code anymore, thanks to 2022 and the internet. And you think Santa, when you thought he was real, he was one fun motherfucker. And then you go, wait, that means, what's Rudolph about? So the reindeer can fly because of the mushroom. Rudolph has the red nose, so he can be like a mushroom and help his friends see through the storm. Which then makes you think of Wizard of Oz, which is another psychedelic story. That storm, that tornado she was in, that's the come up. I've explained this before, but I know some of you might be new, after a year and a half. It was all black and white, no color, kind of drab. Everybody's mostly. Weird. And kind of a spooky feel. And then she sees this dude. Didn't he ever drink something? I don't remember. with Dorothy when she saw the carnival dude, which turned out to be the wizard or whatever. Sort of shaman. But then the storm, that's the come up when you first start feeling it after 30, 35 minutes. And you're like, whoa, what's going on with my brain? It feels like your brain's getting blasted apart when in actuality it's being the opposite. It's coming together much, much more. But you're not used to it. So it feels really scary. It feels like a tornado. It feels like that first fucking roller coaster hill. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And it takes a little while. It's that first thing. Until you get used to it and you get the peak and then, look at that, I'm in fucking Oz. Holy shit. I truly didn't intend this to be so much about psychedelics right away. I meant to jump away from it, but it felt so good. As my chair will tell you. So the whole storm. Oh, well, and then with the Wizard of Oz, if you've never understood the Wizard of Oz as being a psychedelic story, those fucking little people, what are the dwarves in that one? I can't remember what the little people, the Munchkins? Is that what it was? I don't remember. Munchkins, leprechauns, Smurfs. For me, they're the Smurfs. Oompa Loompas, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Psychedelic story. Remember when they first go in the building? There's all that stress beforehand, and then, oh, Charlie gets the golden tickets, and then, oh my God, some stress is relieved. Oh, this feels really good at first. And then there's this weirdness when they first go in the building, and it's all twisted and everything. And then all of a sudden, he opens the door, and then he sings the imagination song, and there's mushrooms all over the place. Whatever. And Oompa Loompas, whatever. Same fucking thing for me. And I've only done it. When I talk to people about mushrooms, it's so often that most of them think I do them all the time, when it's not. I've only done a heroic dose. I've only done it, is it 5 or 6? Maybe 7. The first one was almost 10 years ago. That's not even once a year. Right around once a year, I guess. I went to a small town school. My mathematicians are not the greatest. They're decent, but I need a calculator. Where was I? The Smurfs are on my shoulder once I get to the peak. And everything's like, wow, when you feel like you're in the Chocolate Factory or Oz or, I won't get into E.T. right now. Damn, we're going deep. But it's like that whole leprechaun, the whole thing where you can never find them. The best way I'm able to explain it is when you're peaking really great and everything is just beautiful and you got I'm yawning a lot. It makes me yawn and dabbing. I get ready with a roll of fucking paper towels because those tears of forgiveness that you feel and healing that has to do with getting rid of depression or whatever. Back to the Jesus thing. Yes, it's all connected. But it's like the Smurfs. Every once in a while, I can hear like 2 or 3 of them on my shoulder. The opposite shoulder from wherever I'm looking. And as soon as you turn your head, they're gone. And you giggle. Some people, I guess, get scared of that, but I think it's fucking hilarious because everything makes sense. Even though I can't understand what the fuck they're saying, they're just basically giggling at me. And every once in a while, I'll hear them over my shoulder, and I'll look, and then you got the ghost thing, but that's actually separate. But you do feel other things being alive. And, well, hell, I'll just talk about my one of the most perfect things about my first heroic dose. It was my buddy Tim, and we split a 1/4 ounce. I had done an 1/8 a bunch of times. I'd done just a couple of stems or a couple of caps a couple of times. Nothing really big. And I was kind of depressed. And it was kind of like a fuck it moment, even though I'd done a lot of reading on it at this time and knew a lot of stuff. Nothing, but a lot compared to, because it's not a big studied subject, so there's not a whole bunch of people. But anyway, major Padawan. I'm a negative Padawan. But even though I'd known about the depression thing and helping with addiction, I wasn't even thinking that. I was just so depressed. It was a fuck it moment, and like, yeah, I'll take all those. And we did this little ceremony thing where we both got a plate. We got 3 plates. Dumped them all on one plate in the middle. And he had his plate, I had mine, of course. And one by one, take what you want, one by one. He took one, I took one. Boom, until we were down to the end. And it was fun. It was really fun. But, God, that's a lot of fucking mushrooms to chew, man. But I did it. And I needed fucking floss. Which is a good thing to do while you're waiting for the come up, because you've got this anticipation. And actually the flossing, even though now I've the last couple of times I've done it with tea, but I've realized that one of the good things about the just chewing them up for reals, I just said that, oh God, 50 years old, I said for reals. Oh my God, if you hear a gun go off and then silence, that just means I'm shocked that I missed. Is the that flossing. It because it takes so long to chew those bad boys up, and then you've got all that stuff in your teeth, and it kills a good amount of time, especially if you got good music going. Just look up YouTube and music to trip by, psychedelic mushroom music. Just there's people that have put stuff up there for you, 4 hours of stuff where you don't have to stop, hit play. You don't have to worry about electronics. You just hit play. You're good for 4 hours because you're not going to want to mess with any stuff like that. You don't want to. Then that little roller coaster thing happens, and you're probably still flossing around then, and then you just keep thinking, oh, whoa, here it is. This is going to be short. It's going to be short. It's just the come up. Remember, my brain's going back together. It's not getting split apart. It's the opposite of what it feels, because this doesn't happen very often. Just know that, so you don't have any problems. The music will help. And just keep knowing that and understanding it makes the time go by a lot faster with that. And you know that peak, it's just like that roller coaster. Keep that roller coaster in your head. It's just that first hill. It's just that first hill. It's all good. My brain, it's going back. It's going back. I know it feels how it feels, but we're good. We're good. And that's why it's good to have somebody who's done it before with you. Makes you feel more safe. Never do this. Never do a heroic dose alone for the first time, at least. Never do that. At least, well, you can do what you want, but nah, I wouldn't. Anyway, that peak is right around the corner, just over that hill. That little tornado. That weird little hallway in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's short. And pretty soon you're going to be going, whoa. I hear someone singing the Imagination song. Gene Wilder. That's what he was telling me? Oh my God, that's right. Oh. I hear the Oompa Loompas. Oh. They're not really there. They're like leprechauns. They're like... What are they like? The little people. They're all little. I was trying to put together a really, of course, it wasn't going to be very good. That's why I've, dragged this out so much. And I don't know why I'm dragging it out, because I've got a lot of shit to get to. Oh my God. But they're there. And anyway, the fucking point is, those guys are there. They're there, and they're there to look after you. They're there to make sure. Oh, that's what I was saying. The fucking opening the door at my first trip with Tim. My first heroic dose. And we were inside. We had good music going. He knew what he'd done it before. And he had a lot of Alex Gray stuff on his walls. And he knew what to play on YouTube and not have to hit the fucking computer again and just chill and turn the lights down. And just, we had the Vegas movie, Not Leaving Las Vegas. The Johnny Depp, Hunter Thompson movie. That was playing, but it was down low. And the peak hit for me right when they were in the bar and the lizard stuff started, and the floor was doing what it was doing in that whole thing in the movie. If you've seen it, my God, I can't remember the name. I don't understand why. Oh, is it the weed or the alcohol? If you said both, you're a cheater. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I knew a drink would help. And it was probably right while you were searching yourself. And I got you. Now, how about I lost it? Yeah, kind of like the Mega Millions tonight. Where was I? So it was at that bar moment when it really hit. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And the yawning started, and I needed those paper towels all of a sudden. And I felt fantastic. And I just kind of parked myself in the corner in the kitchen, not cowering or anything, just sitting sort of against the corner with my one hand on each side, and just, wow, this is the shit. I had the perfect setting. I was depressed, not super like freaking out or anything, but it was enough to where this was not a cure, but a medicine for sure. But the chocolate factory moment hit when, after a while, getting used to that and seeing the movie and the shit melting on the screen and sort of feeling into that, even though things weren't melting. But I get it. Now I really get this movie. I've seen it before, but now I see how well it's done. Wow, does this go together? Everything goes together, but that is especially made for that frame of mind. And just taking it all in, using, like I said, a lot of fucking paper towels, and just laughing and oh my God, holy shit, oh my God, over and over. Weird, huh? Because it did feel like phoning home. I said I wasn't going to talk about E.T. I won't. But after a bit, we decided, hey, let's go outside. Let's go take a walk. Open that fucking door, and it was just like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That first tree that was coming up over it was on the second floor, and this one palm tree was right there in the corner by Tim's door. My apartment was down the hall, and it was like there was a courtyard right in the middle. That tree was just, talk about a real Christmas tree in that moment. Wow, that tree it's never looked so fucking cool. And then all the landscaping around the pool looked even cooler. And the street was just, when we got out to the sidewalk, my street seemed like a fucking movie set. It was so wild, which was the trippy part about that was, it was right across the street from CBS Radford in Studio City, California. So it seemed like everything was a set when you got out to the street. And I was like, wait, this is cool, but now let's go down one of the alleys. Now let's do the Jim Morrison thing. Let's go into the underbelly a little bit. And to watch Tim's face, because he had never gone down that alley that I took him down. It was a wide alley where it was not it wasn't an alley like you would normally think. But at midnight, it's pretty dark, and can be spooky for some. And the changes of each building and the sounds and the smells as we walked down past 3 buildings was just, I'd done it so many times to walk down to the river, but it had never been so cool as that walk. And to watch Tim's face, because like I said, he'd never gone down that way, and him just looking around going, oh, wow. It was fucking uber cool. And that's all I have to say about that for now. I've been babbling. Didn't I tell you it was the Babbling Dabbler show? I fucking told you. Some of you already knew, but welcome. Moving on to, like I said, it's February 9th, 2022, and a new Johns Hopkins University study says the lockdown had little to no effect on the mortality rate, 0.2%. Could this be the wind that blows the last straw up high enough for all to see and understand that they've had a cactus shoved up their ass while being told it was just the pinky of a 5-foot massage therapist that looks like Jennifer Aniston? The lesson is that if you watch mainstream corporate news and you look at the edges of the screen really close, you can actually see the toilet pipe scum from their continuous travels toward the septic tank. God, I love my chair audience. So, you know that dude that you heard on the beginning, that dude that's doing the open, that whole thing, you know, the guy that said my name? That's Joe Cruz. Check his website out, cruzvo.com. Cruz as in, you know, a ship to go get a virus on. Even if you've got a jib-jabberty doob-dabbity doo, Manson would be proud of that. What? I know. I'm not getting into Manson yet. I've only got a few minutes, and holy shit. Did I mention the Patreon? I could use some more whips. It would be nice because I'm getting this back on its heels, on its feet, on its big fat tires. He said fat, Ma. I want him canceled. Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Wayne Roberts 811. Twitter, there's also an interest waning handle, but I don't look at it very often because it's been, you know, just a year and a half, to be exact. And some of you, did I mention the Patreon? Some of you whips, people that have not heard the last hour 77, those that have heard hour 77 might be thinking that Peter Pan's partner broke my little black raisin of a heart and I needed to recover. But you see, you can't really break a raisin. You can only squish it with your fingers, or with a book or a hammer, or with the heel of a really sexy boot. But that's not what happened. I'd like to take this moment to announce that Kate Beckinsale and I are finally engaged. This is where I would have an applause sound effect, but you're already hearing it in your head. Now, the weird part is that it's all happening on Earth 4163. We're Earth 1218, where that's where we are right now. But this is all happening on Earth 4163, where Peter Dinklage is the real Batman, not the movie man, the real Batman. And Pee Wee Herman is president. I was going to joke and say Caitlyn Jenner is his first lady, but many will be happy to know that it's actually Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson. At this moment, some of you are listening to this recently, or when it's been released. Some of you will be listening to it later, if I have the money to keep it up. Right around this time, The Rock has tried to make Rogan a racist. Rock Rogan racist. With this clip thing. And just to give you a little idea in a time capsule, if you're listening to this, like I said, at this point, what year could it be? This is when you need a team. Figure out exactly what year you're actually trying to get across. I don't know, but Dwayne Johnson, Joe Rogan, racist, the triple R. There's going to be a movie. So by this time, there's probably been a movie if you're listening to this in 2035. They went and took that moment and then somehow twisted it into making it some kind of thing for The Rock, and Rogan caved like, I'm kidding. Triple R, like Triple X. Remember when Vin Diesel did Triple X? And so, see, it makes sense. Triple R. Rock, Rogan, racist. See, the tie, everything's connected, back to the mushroom thing and the psychedelic, whatever. Eesh. Calm down, homeboy. So there's your little time capsule thing. So, year and a half. Why has it been a year and a half? Well, a year and a half ago, I told you I was working at a place where the call letters would be WLWS if it had a radio station. Me being, how can I admit a radio person? But I won an award, man. Oh. Just because there's a lot more dead air than I would have done if there's a whole bunch of commercials. It would keep me in line, actually. Oh, that's the other thing about this podcast. It's one of the greatest parts about it. No ads. 42 minutes in. Have you heard me? Besides the mushrooms, do an ad? Right. So it's all been about a house. A house that was we built it in 82, 83, in between. I did a lot of the work as a little kid. Still, kind of the same thing, but more that I did this time. To where, anyway, the house was built then. I lived in it for a few years, and then we bought another house and rented this one out. And since 87, and last year, came back in here, and I visited at first to check it out, and I had to take a piss. And I went in. Did I tell this part of it on last hour? I don't remember. Anyway, had to take a squirt. This house was so nasty. When I got to the toilet and I shut the door, I didn't know whether I was going to puke or squirt. It was so bad. There's your year and a half. Because it looks nothing like it did. People see before and after, and they shit their pants. And then they go, that must mean you have a bidet. Oh, you know what else took a lot of time? Someone wanted every room a different color. That don't take no time. But I love it, actually. It's pretty cool to have every room a different color, even though it took some time. And a lot of extra paint cans. Man, I feel like I'm such a bad influence on the environment. Wish that paint was made of hemp. But anyway, one thing I realized, I remembered from when I was a kid, my mom, so brilliant. This house on this property is built on ledge, so there's no basement. Just a cement slab and a ranch, 4-bedroom ranch. How genius, right? didn't have to worry about an Indian burial ground underneath us, so the TV wouldn't take my sister and I away. Kudos to Ma and my poltergeist reference, my papa poltergeist reference. So I've also been a little too tired to prep for an hour, obviously, and let alone record. And then snowstorms. I have a plow guy. He came after midnight in a storm. And I woke up to like a Great Wall of China made of snow around my mailbox. I texted him. I said, "Are you coming back?" He came back later because, he's a whore because he's plowing for others as well. Because I needed him to push the rest around the mailbox. Because I couldn't get to it. So the mailman couldn't get to it. And I'm trying to get this farther away from sex than it sounded. What? I know that was pretty funny, huh? That's clever. You're clever. Oh, you just gave away to where you are. Had this doctor visit, checkup, sitting there in the waiting room, true story, and this mom and her little kid, 2 years old, I noticed him staring at me, and we got masks on and everything, and this is a while ago, and I start making, little weird faces with my eyes, make him giggle. He starts giggling. Next thing you know, as I'm sitting there looking at a magazine or my phone, he's standing there right next to me. He's got his hand on my leg looking up at me, still giggling. So I make more. His mother's laughing. I make him laugh a little more with another face and some sounds. He's giggling. They call me in. I gotta go, buddy. He's like starts following me into the back where they have, when the nurse takes you in. I gotta go. And everybody's laughing now in the lobby. Do my thing. I come back out. I don't expect them to still be there. There they are. I sign out. I say goodbye. I'm walking out the door, and I hear some laughter behind me, and I hear, wait, and I look back. Kids following me out. Everybody's laughing. I'm like, oh, you can't come with me, bud. Sorry. I don't have a car seat. It was hilarious. His giggle. And then the mom laughing. And then the nurses behind the counter laughing. It was neat. I love that story, and I'm glad I left it in my notes because I'd almost forgotten it after a year. So, recently, I've been on a couple of podcasts. Really fun. You've probably not heard of maybe you have by now, Appetite for Distortion. It's number 327. I'm on there with Gina Gershon right behind her. She does 7 minutes. I do an hour and a half. Gina Gershon opened for me. Yeah, I know how that sounded. Didn't mean that one. But it was good. So, It's about Guns N' Roses, the dude's appetite for distortion. So obviously it's a Guns N' Roses themed podcast. This guy Brando's been doing it for a few years, 2016, I think, right around when they got back, when the reunion. It was a fun hour and a half, but I gotta say, right here, I was wrong about a few things. I did the fan obsession. He calls it fan obsession, so sometimes he has radio people or just big fans of Guns N' Roses on to chat with them. And because we're both radio people, we really got into it. We talked for 30 fucking minutes before we even hit record. And I wish he'd recorded all that. I'd have put it on the Patreon page. So, talked about radio and Guns N' Roses and other things, but I fucked up. Well, I listened back for a little bit, see if I could grab something, which I put up on Twitter, just like a minute, and I listened to it. I'm like, wait, when I told him that I saw them, Guns N' Roses in 08, it was 06, and it was Robin Fink, not DJ Ashba. Son of a bitch, DJ Ashba didn't join the band until 2009. Fuck, shit, piss, fuck, I hate that. It's out there. And I forgot to say that Izzy played a couple of tunes. And I kept listening a little more. And I was talking about a joke about that they used in Spider-Man No Way Home, but I mixed up the titles where I said I mixed up Far From Home and No Way Home with the joke about feels like it was stolen from me, because anybody that knows me since I was fucking 12 years old, every once in a while a song would come on, like AC/DC would come on, and I would go, I love Led Zeppelin. I've been doing that for a long time. Anyway, when I told him that funny little anecdote, I got the Spider-Man titles wrong, and it really bugs the shit out of me.
Did it again.
But also, I really dove into Charles Manson talk because, Axl wearing the shirt and them doing Look at Your Game Girl on the Spaghetti Incident. I dove into Manson like Peter Falk. Did you ever hear the story about that? Oh, that's going to be some news. Yeah. Charles Manson, Columbo. So it turns out Peter Falk is a really method actor and really got his hands dirty doing his detective work. Dude wrote a book like Columbo actually was there on the scene of the crime and stuff. It's psychological shit. You look into it and you go, what the fuck? And then I forgot to tell him my first tattoo, which was Slash inspired. I forgot to tell him that story, where I had Juan Jess Negaduela draw up a couple of things years ago for me, and I had him revise them. Because that was my first tattoo. I really wanted to be sure. I've got $100, and I'm told $100. One of those will be $100, no problem. And as I'm waiting, I see a skull with a top hat with a hole in its forehead and a monocle and a cigarette hanging out. I'm like, whoa, Guns N' Roses. Yeah, fuck, that's like Slash shit. That's fucking cool. $100. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Anyway, move on, looking around while I'm waiting. And then when it's my turn, I show the dude the two pictures, and he says 150 on one of them and 170 on the other. And I went, oh shit, I only got $100 for the tat and 25 for the tip. How much for the skull with the top out on the wall? $100? I'll take that one. And then I've since gone over that with roses and my daughter's initials and birth date. Guns N' Roses. Totally forgot to tell that story. What a fucking douche. That's a cool fucking story. Totally forgot. Stupid motherfucker. And I wasn't even ringing. was also on the Paulcast. Back to Manson. It's on YouTube. Check it out, the Paulcast. They had me on. Paulcast is like 3 people: Paul, Danny, and Beckham, Mr. Beckham. And they do a Zoom thing on YouTube where live, and it's kind of like a Manson book club, looking into the myth of Manson, and they're getting rid of the helter-skelter bullshit, going through it and seeing what's bogus and all these things. And it's really fun, and they do like an hour and a half. You got to check them out, Paulcast on YouTube. Well, they were doing a roast for Paul's birthday, and I wrote a bunch of jokes, and they had me on, and they had a few other people on to say happy birthday with a couple of jokes. And one of the people was Michael Bruner, Charles Manson's son. I didn't know that until he hung up. What a douche. But it was actually cool, because then I didn't ask him any stupid questions. I just treated him, like I didn't know, because I fucking didn't. He didn't look the same as some of the last interviews that I saw him do, which has only been a couple. Super cool dude, but the funniest thing was he was doing his Zoom thing and his camera, and he in a room at his house where there was a bunch of deer heads. There's like 5 of them behind him on the wall. And all I could think of was the original Arthur movie with Dudley Moore, in the scene when he goes to pick up Susan, and the father-in-law comes in and kind of scares him with his little speech, and there's a moose head right there between them in the shot, and Arthur keeps going, "Where's the rest of this moose?" He's got like 5 of them behind him, and where's the rest of this, dear? So I had a couple of drinks. It was a roast, and my jokes fucking killed, except for the couple of times where my fucking microphone kind of went in and out for some reason, and I didn't know it until being told afterwards. Damn it. But the jokes were pretty good. They were all howling. I got to talk to Charles Manson's son. That was pretty badass. And then, so I was on Appetite for Distortion, and I was on the Paulcast, and then Jimmy Dore liked a reply I put on a tweet that I can't remember what it was. Jimmy Dore liked it. That's a trifecta. Boom, zang, zing. Can't believe I still have a drink left in only a minute. Wait, it's less than a minute. You haven't done this in a while. This is going to be hard. This is where the radio part comes in, when there's a little ramp to hit, and oh my God, I'm a little fucking nervous. So the moral of the story is, have me on your podcast so I can make a complete ass of myself for everyone, so my daughter can be even more proud. Can't believe I fucking record this shit. Anyway, what I want you to do, but no, I want you to do what you want, but watch Redacted tonight. Corbett Report, Jimmy Dorsha, Russell Brand, Kim Iverson, but look for yourself. I'm just here to be a fun dabbler. Remember, we're all Neo, a.k.a. One. Sorry, ran long. Had to bump comedian Shane Gillis. Thanks, Gary. Whew. Daddy loves you. Right?